Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's webinar on how to maximize Imagine Learning usage with engagement systems. And my name is Tara Sals. I'm the director for the Department of Multilingual Programs here in Garland ISD. And the goal of our presentation today is really to help our emergent bilingual students um, increase their utilization of Imagine Learning. Even though all students in Garland ISD do not have access to Imagine Learning, we have kept it for our students with the highest needs. And that includes our emergent bilingual students who are brand new to this country with just in the beginning stages of their English language acquisition. And so the first thing I want to share is that all the tips and tricks are that I'll be talking about this evening are really a proven system. We have I've practiced this and implemented these things in my previous district at three different schools over 3 different years through the pandemic and came out number one school in the district for Imagine Learning for 3 years in a row. So you may not be able to do every single thing, but I really wanted to paint a clear picture of how we can make Imagine Learning more systematic and widespread to excel our students in their language acquisition. And just a little background about my previous district, it's not as large as Garland ISD, but what is similar is the students and how they qualify for the program. And another similarity is how widespread they are. So, it was never a whole class of kiddos that got Imagine Learning. It was only for the newcomers, and there was just a few newcomers in every class. So, it is possible for us to do this in Garland ISD as well. So here's some of the things that we're going to be talking about: motivation, how to get students excited about Imagine Learning, how to hold students accountable with monitoring, how to heighten awareness around the school and with the students and parents with reminders, and then how to celebrate their success with rewards. So again, our objective, what are we learning today? How to increase student utilization of Imagine Learning through a systematic approach that consists of motivation, monitoring, rewards, and reminders. So 2 M's and 2 R's. So let's talk about motivation first. So here's some different ways that the kids can really get motivated to using the program more. Make it a competition between students, between grade levels, between houses. If you have like the red house versus blue house, who doesn't love some friendly competition, right? Also, if your campus has a newsletter or, maybe you're sending out newsletters, you can highlight students with pictures and shout out their teacher. And then also bulletin boards are a great way to motivate your students. They love seeing their picture up on the wall as the top user for the month or the week or the most improved. Just making sure to feature different kids in different ways so you can celebrate them all and really get them pumped. And then we also, Imagine Learning has a sticker chart. There's also silver bits, which can be awarded by the teacher in their portfolio. And Imagine Learning has certificates that you can download from the Home Connection resources. So another way to get the kids motivated is just to have a print-rich environment with the Imagine Learning posters and flyers. So these are just a few examples that they can be printed out from the website. And then here's the progress chart. So the kids, I would write their names on there, and then every Friday we do a check-in and we see if they got their hour for the week, and they get a star and they get a prize, and it's just a little celebration on a weekly basis. And that serves as a visual. They're looking at it every time they come in the classroom, and they're talking about it. And again, that creates that sense of competition, and some kids really thrive that way. And then Imagine Learning also has certificates. So we're able to print these out. Some of the certificates already have like the information, and you just have to print it out and give it to the kid. And then this is an example of one you fill out yourself. And this is an example of the newsletter. So I used to send out this newsletter to the teachers at one of the schools where I was at, and we would shout out kids and give out prizes. Okay, so now let's talk about monitoring, right? How do we hold students accountable so they're not just, you're not going to tell them just go over there in the corner and do Imagine Learning, right? So here's some ways, you can keep them uh, monitored, right? Keep monitoring them and keep them accountable. So we've got the daily folder, which can be easily created and have the students reflecting after each lesson, weekly check-ins, on a weekly basis. They need to know, are they meeting their goals for that week? Kids are like living by the day. So if you let more than a week go by, they may check out and not really be as motivated. And then goal setting as well, having individual meetings with those kids that are not meeting their weekly progress, or meeting with their teachers, their parents, to figure out how they can get that time in on the app. And then using that data from Imagine Learning to inform tutoring groups is also a great way to monitor. So this is an example of the student session tracker. So when they get to that last screen after they finish the lesson, they're able to write down the activities completed, how many books they read, how many words they learned, and then a little reflection sentence. And that helps hold them accountable for each lesson. So they know when they're done, they're going to have to fill this out. So they have to be, really paying attention. So these are just some pictures, and you'll notice, like, on that top picture there, the kid was not writing the sentence yet, because this was a kindergartner, and so we're just really focused on holding the pencil correctly. And then we moved into him dictating his reflection to me, and I write it, and then him, me starting a sentence to him, and then him finishing it, and then finally that gradual release. And the next way is with reminders, right? So everybody needs reminders, right? From birth to the end, like, we all need reminders at different points. And so, if the kids were not present for the Imagine Learning Club in the morning, then I would call the teacher to see if the kid was at school that day, because maybe they didn't come to Imagine Learning Club because they were absent. I will also send out reminders on Thursday mornings for the teachers. If students haven't met their goal yet by Thursday morning, that way they have all day Thursday and all day Friday to meet that weekly goal. And then also sending home the login letters at least 2 times a year, maybe more frequently if the kid is not meeting their goals. And that can be downloaded from Imagine Learning too. Now, I wanted to mention one other thing about the Imagine Learning Club, because this is just one of the ways, right, that we can get Imagine Learning in, and in during the school day. So I know, it's kind of tough to figure it out. If you're like watching this and you're a teacher, you're thinking, okay, well, I don't control the school, I just control my classroom, right? And so getting Imagine Learning in the classroom can be a station. It could be a station rotation. It could be the first thing they do when they come and they grab their breakfast and they do Imagine Learning. And maybe they just miss like the morning announcements, and it's not a big deal, because what they're learning is more valuable than what they're missing. Um, but at the school that I was at, we had a dedicated person who could run Imagine Learning Club. That was me. And, the kids would come early in the morning, and they would come in the school like before other kids got to come in. They got to come in, and they would get their breakfast and then come to my room and do their lesson. It's only 20 minutes. So, most kids are at school 20 minutes early anyway. And then they would do their lesson, and then they would go, back to class, or they would go to class from my room. Sometimes they would go drop off their backpack and then come to Imagine Learning Club. But that's why I was calling the teachers, just to see, like, hey, did Jacob come to school today? Um, and so, yeah, that those are just the little ways to remind the kids. And another thing about, the letters that we're sending home for the login letters, a lot of those are available in different languages. Imagine Language and Literacy has 15 different languages that are supporting our students, and research shows that when you connect English to what they already know, then they're really able to be successful, because because they're using their prior knowledge and connecting that back to the research. And then finally, rewards, right? Who doesn't love some celebrations of achievement and progress? So here's just a few ideas, right? You could get like a little shoe holder, over the door shoe holder thing, and get some dollar store prizes. Another fun one is the scan to win. So it's a little ticket with a QR code on it, and they scan it and it tells them what they've won. Some kids, I had a little pocket chart where they would save up their QR code, save up their tickets, and then they would use them on Fridays. We just have fun Fridays. If they had already met their goal for the week, when we come in on Fridays, it's board games or, whatever the scan to win prize is. It doesn't necessarily have to cost money, but there's no cost and there's low cost, right? So low cost prizes, you've got Dollar Store, Amazon, little stamper, rubber stamp. Um, those are pretty low cost. But then, no cost is Imagine Learning has swag as well that they can provide. All you have to do is ask. And that was probably the coveted prizes. So I would always save like the Imagine Learning prizes for those big milestones. So, the goal is 30 hours by the end of the year. So the bigger, they got a prize for every hour. But when we got to 5, 10, 15, 20, the fives or the 10, 20, 30, that's when they were eligible for the Imagine Learning prizes, which were, even cooler. And then, just a final reflection today. Let's just take a moment. What are 3 new ideas you learned today? What are 2 ideas you are still wondering about? And what is 1 idea you are ready to put into action? So just take a moment, pause the video, and reflect. All right. Well, thank you all so much for your time. You got this. If you have any questions or need any help figuring out how to make Imagine Learning a success for the students that have accounts at your school, please feel free to reach out. Again, my name is Tara Sowells, and I'm the director here in Garland ISD, and we're happy to support you. Thank you so much for watching.